Darrell with D Darrell Life Solutions. I am going live using the vertical. I'm using the vertical live streaming just to check it out and see how it is. This will be my first time doing a live stream this way. In the past, YouTube used to have the, you can go live through YouTube, or you can use the on the go type situation. So I'm gonna check this out and see, you know, how it looks. And a lot of people are going live vertically. So I'm making a decision. Hey, why not go live sometime and see how it goes. Appreciate the person coming in. Good morning to you. Again, this is D Darrell Life Solutions. Um, I'm hoping not to be on too long. Shout out to Fei Fei TV. To you or Fifi, Fei Fei or Fifi. How are you doing, Queen? Appreciate you for coming in. So, um, I basically want to talk about a mental health issue, and as you all have been familiar with my channel, you know that I talk about mental health. Shout out to K Business Channel. What's going on, player? How you doing, man? Appreciate the love, man. I gotta go check you out, man. I've been so busy, K, man. Business been up. Got a lot of stuff going on, K. I haven't been checking you out lately, man. I haven't even been on YouTube that much. Very minimal on YouTube. My other channel, D Darrell Live, I haven't been live in over a week or so. Just came back from vacation. I had a birthday on Monday. I was in Myrtle Beach over the weekend for my birthday weekend. So I haven't watched a lot of YouTube, period. But what I want to talk about today is um, the availability of mental health services in our community or to people, period. I want to focus on how available are mental health services. Oh, wow, congratulations. You're an autism provider? That's, hey, man, that's a good investment. That's a good investment. That's something that I was also looking at getting into potentially too. Because I see several of those in the Houston area as far as autism spectrum disorder providers. Providing ABA therapy, behavioral therapy. You get a certified ABA licensed therapist, a certified or licensed ABA therapist. Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. So let's talk about availability. The availability of mental health services is highly determined by the private insurances, Medicaid insurance, nonprofits, and governmental agencies that offer these type of services. It has very little to do with how many therapists are in your area, in your county, in your state, because our therapists don't provide services through the same avenues. There are therapists who primarily are cash. And shout out to the those who have a private practice and they're cash only. Shout out to you all. I only know a few people that have been um, successful at that. I know many who have tried and they were not successful. And then I have those who are they have it part time and they work somewhere full time. So shout out to those, excuse me, who do cash only services. Less than 15% of my company is cash, so I don't do cash that much. I mean, I do cash, but I do primarily insurances, and I focus more on government funded insurances such as Medicare, Medicaid, and then also the private insurances that participate. There are only so many psychologists, There are only so many psychiatrists for medication. There are only so many mental health therapists, LPCs, LCSWs, licensed licensed marriage and family therapists, licensed chemical dependency therapists or counselors. There's only so many of us. And many of us, again, some are cash only, some only accept Medicaid, no private insurance. Then you have those who strictly accept private insurances and EAP providers, and they don't want to have anything to do with Medicaid. I'm going to be honest, I have battled with that decision for the last 8 to 10 years. There was a time where I was highly leaning towards no longer accepting Medicaid and strictly doing private insurances and EAP. And because I'm gonna be honest, the reason why public funded, state funded insurances are a problem is because number one, they don't allow their oversight is a lot stricter because it's state funded money. They don't allow as many sessions. That path to getting those sessions and getting pre-approved and things of that sort, getting pre-authorizations is a lot harder. Even though they have, particularly in the state of Texas, I can't speak for every state, but in the state of Texas, they have done some things to make it a lot easier, allowing the first 32 sessions to be um, pre-approved without having to do all of that. Their insurances like Blue Cross Blue Shield that only allow up to 10 to 12, I think 10 before you have to get a pre-approved for those sessions. EAPs 3 to 6, and then but that's only temporary. It's free to the client. The accessibility, because providers are going to only open up in areas where they think that they can be profitable and help people. I'm not saying that uh, they're totally about making money. They kind of are, but they want to help people and make sure that they provide. They want to make sure that they are able to provide adequate services and at the same time uh, help people long term. They're not strictly just doing it just to make a buck because they want results. Myself, I want to be a profitable company. However, even though I want to be a profitable company, um, my company grew by the fact of the quality of services, and so I definitely pride myself on quality of services. That's a definite. Quality of services are definite. Fifi TV saying I'm working while I'm listening. I hear you. Appreciate you for being here. So, in the state of Texas, um, when we look at the availability of services, every county in the state of Texas has what's called a local mental health authority. This local mental health authority is pretty much the governing body. They access services to everybody. There are only so many. There's only like one per county, and then there are several um, LMH local mental health authorities, LMHAs, that may um, have a catchment area, which is the area where they're approved to provide services to the public of several counties. I used to work for a company that um, serviced Galveston County and Brazoria County. Now I found out they're also in Harris County too, to a certain extent. So First and foremost, let's look at those. I look at those, the local mental health authorities as being very important. They accept everybody that has Medicaid or Medicare. That's their primary group. That's the primary demographic that they're looking at. Also, we have to look at what's available as hospitals. Some counties have a state hospital, most don't. There are only so many state hospitals that a state can afford. Then you want to look at the private hospitals. Those private hospitals have so many beds, so many psychiatrists and nurses, psych nurses. So you may have, some counties have several. A large city like Houston may have a dozen or so. Some are freestanding, some are not, some are connected to hospitals. You have community mental health agencies, um, community mental health centers, which I have experienced because my company is designated as a CMHC, which can provide a lot of different types of services to the community. I'm actually working on more. I'm actually working on having more insurance panels being designated as community mental health center. Now there's several. You can find several of those. Okay, you have partial hospitals. You have IOP, intensive outpatient services. You have nonprofit organizations that provide counseling related therapeutic services. Then you have those that are like myself that are for profit, for a smaller company that provides an array of services. I provide services that are uh, through cash, um, state funded, and private insurance. I cover everything because of the size of my company. Okay. Also, unfortunately, if you're involved or you're seeking services through a government agency, um, they may refer you out to a company that's in their database that they have a contract with or that they're affiliated with to receive services. I contract with um, the judicial system in several counties. They give, excuse me, they give me referrals because I'm in their database. I have a contract with them. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to revamp my fee schedule, the amount of money that I charge for services. What's going on? Good morning to Must Be Trini. Yeah, I appreciate you for coming in, Queen. Um, I contract with them, and they give me referrals. They refer me clients that are on parole or probation, making sure that they're compliant. I do mental health assessments. I also give recommendations. Okay, so these are the things that I'm involved in. But the availability, because there are only so many insurances that have so many therapists that are in network. Houston is an area that certain insurances are saturated. There's certain panels I can't get on right now because they have too many or they have enough. They're not accepted anymore. I hate that because therapists come and go. Therapists come and go, retire, they do different things. Um, you know, um, that there's so many things that go on where um, then you want to look at preferences. Who you prefer. Okay, so that's kind of the perspective that I look at things from because not every insurance is credential everybody. They deny people for a variety of reasons. There are people who get put on suspension, that their license is suspended for a while, or get or revoked or whatever, or they're on a break, they don't want to do therapy, they no longer they went to private practice to working for another company. Um, but they maintain those people on their roster. When you seek mental health services, the, the first thing you should do is contact your insurance company, and they can give you a list of therapists that are in your area within a preferably a 30-minute radius drive. Most people seek a therapist that's within a 30, not 30-mile radius, but a 30-minute radius. Most people are not willing to drive over 30 minutes to see a therapist. They basically prefer something that's, you know, 0 to 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. Most people are not. Most people are not inspired to drive 45 minutes to an hour to go to a therapy session. They don't value. Most people don't value therapy that much. They want it. They want convenience. They want convenience. It's no difference um, than certain medical issues. Certain medical issues, people are only willing to go so far. No one wants to drive an hour just to go to a general practitioner or family doctor. But people are willing to go that long, if that far, if they have to go to a specialist or they have to see someone that's dealing with the brain, the heart, kidneys, things that putting your life at risk. Then when you don't have a choice, because there are only so many uh, medical professionals who have those type of specialties. Um, so I'm talking about availability. I'm also talking about affordability. Um, that has a lot to do with it. For the most part, as I have scouted the price of therapy from state to state, city to city, uh, just me, just doing my homework as far as me scouting competition, creating my own rates, uh, being competitive. You can seek a therapist if you want to pay cash only. You're gonna find a therapist that charges around $100. Pretty much is almost the standard. You can find a good therapist for $100. There are some that are maybe 80, 90. I don't think you're gonna find a therapist in today's economy that's less than 80, 85, $90. I'm gonna say $90, maybe 80, depending on if what type of. Like for me, I don't do cash that much, so I'm only $100 because I don't have a lot of cash paying clients. That was a time where I was very cheap for cash because I didn't have a lot of cash paying clients. I didn't care to I didn't care to promote the cash aspect of it. I was focused a lot on Medicare, Medicaid, number one, and then private insurance second. I didn't even care that much to have private clients, uh, even though I was fine with that. But I was focused a lot on Medicaid, and Medicare. That's the primary payers for my particular agency. So you can go in your database, you can see who you want. They can give you a list. You can call them, you can vet them, you make your decision on what you can afford. So sorry about that, guys. The biggest issue today, as far as mental health, as far as availability, is in rural areas. Rural areas have a difficult time maintaining proper mental health. It's not proper, but just quality mental health services, and also having a large availability of you know of therapists. Very few rural areas have a hard time maintaining psychiatrists. They have a hard time getting psychologists. There, mental master's level therapists like myself are far and few between. I've have flirted with potentially going into some rural areas where I'm centrally located, where I could probably service multiple counties at one time. I've flirted with it and thought about it. It has to make economic sense. It has to make economic sense. In rural areas, um, there's major transportation issues. And in a lot of rural areas, there are therapists who do home-based and community-orientated therapy, where they're going on site where the client is at to provide those services. I continue to do a little bit of that, particularly with CPS and the Department of Family Protective Services. No, I'm sorry, Family Protective Services and adoption agencies. I don't provide home-based therapy anymore for private clients. anymore, or Medicaid. They have to be part of foster care and DFPS. I've reduced that. Um, Driving around, and there are therapists who do mobile therapy, on-site therapy. I'm a person now at this point, at this juncture of my career. I don't want to do that anymore. I've done it. I engaged in that a lot. Uh, Pretty much, I settled down with doing a lot of home-based therapy. Mm, I'm gonna say 2018, 2019, I started slowing down. Definitely in 2020 with COVID. 21, 22, again, I just reduced it down to foster care agencies and the Department of Family Protective Services. That's it. I don't go to see private clients with private insurance at their home. They have most of those people have insurances and things where they can come to the office. They can afford to. They can catch the bus. So when I was in Dallas in the Mesquite area, transportation was an issue for the Medicaid clients that I was treating because Mesquite didn't have a bus system. I wanted to be in areas because I pretty much cater to chronically mentally ill people who are low income and they have ongoing issues for the most part. For the most part. So um, that's pretty much me talking about how mental health services are available in our community. Overall, I think there has been a huge improvement, particularly with the VA, particularly with upgrading and making things accessible in rural areas, in schools. But certain insurances only accept so many therapists. So many. Do they have enough? They're not. Especially, really, um, certain areas. Like Blue Cross is pretty much everywhere. Aetna. But someone like Cigna may not be everywhere. They may not have as many people in certain places. Um, Humana maybe, depending on where you're located. Um, and better potentially. It all depends. Now, there are certain um, Medicaid providers that are private and state funded. They have Medicaid and they're private. There are those that have Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance, like United Healthcare. They have an Advantage plan. They have Medicare, Medicare Advantage. They have Medicaid, and their private insurance. I actually have to review some things with United Healthcare and some other insurances to stay on their panel. That's an ongoing affair. Staying up to date on your panels, staying up to date as far as my licensure was renewed. All of those things um, need to be taken care of. All of those things need to be um, need to be kept up and current at all times, or it can you can be denied your claims based on not having proper insurance update and information update. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. I didn't want to be on too long today. I just wanted to do a quick live stream. I'm in a pretty much good mood today. I just completed a video that is called "Man Up, Staying in the Battle." Um, it's related to men. I'm affiliated with a nonprofit organization in the Dallas area, which I like in doing content for. I do have some other contractual things going on with them. Hopefully, building a relationship with them. I enjoy meeting with them whenever they do their engagements on Saturdays and doing speeches and you know and networking with them. I enjoy that a lot, and I want to continue to build that that relationship. So, with that being said, guys, um, I'm gonna, I'm pretty much driving on my way to my office now. I have a lot of things coming up that I will talk to you about as far as uh, getting back to talking about mental health daily. I think one of the ways that I can increase doing content is doing these vertical live streams on my way to work while I'm doing different things, and I think that that would be more appropriate for me. That's positive. I have been involved in other sectors that I'm trying to get away from. I don't want to do that content long term, and it's just not for me at this point. As I'm growing and as I'm just like, I've been on YouTube um, for 8 years, well, over 8 years now, and I've been doing content for 7 years. And so some things are just getting old. So I just want to get back to the basics, and that's talking about mental health, talking about my profession, talking about business, and talking about legitimate issues in our community. So you all have a great day. This is D Durrell. Have a good day. Peace.